Alright. Hey everybody, Not So Frog here. Remember this thing? Oh. Remember this thing? This is my power fist, one of my favorite things I've ever made. It's still kicking ever since the video I made about it like a year or two ago, and it really hasn't come with any actual structural issues, so I built it very strong and I'm proud of that. However, there are a lot of other issues with it. Notably, after I made the video itself on the power fist, my wrist was inflamed for about a week or two afterwards. It did come back stronger than before, but essentially what happens with this is every time you go and use it for a long amount of time, your wrist becomes heavily inflamed. Probably just due to the fact that you're holding such a big, thick handle, and there isn't actually much proper wrist support. This is a bit too loose for the wrist, so you can get the hand through. I wish I had just went with sort of like a clasp mechanism that kind of locks your wrist in like clamshell style. But it's too late to do that now, as everything is welded fully to the frame, and I'd have to cut it all up and repaint it and go through everything. And there's just a lot of general small little issues with this that can't really be fixed because it's all one-piece construction. So the real route you have to take is to make a whole new power fist. And at that point, I thought about just making a whole new efficient system, and that's what I'm going to do today. In other words, I'm going to make a behind-the-scenes making-of video today showing how I actually make these things I make, because I've just seen that kind of popular all over YouTube and try to get some more views on my lackluster channel. Anyways, though, I've actually tried to make a couple of attempts to make a how-to video or like a making-of video with knives and some slingshots and so on, but the amount of footage amassed on iMovie just overloaded it and would constantly crash and break down the app as well as my old phones. However, I do have a brand new phone, so I'm hoping that it'll handle the actual storage needed to make one of these videos. So anyways, today I'm going to be making my latest idea, which is boxing gloves of death. Let's get right into it. So to start with, I bought these $15 or $10. I think they were like $10 without shipping. I think the shipping was like $3 or free or something. Very cheap. And there's these very cheap gloves on Amazon. They're used for like Muay Thai or however you say that, and MMA style boxing. These have a sort of square shape to them, which is better for this project than like a round boxing glove. It's just easier to work into, and it doesn't need any sort of complicated curving or shaping of steel plates and so on. And the thumb is open, which is kind of dangerous, but for the most part you can kind of just tuck it in like this, or just kind of hold it on the side, and I might try and find some way to sort of armor that thumb up and everything. It should be fine. And these provide a good amount of cushioning, and you can also grab things with them, because that's part of MMA or whatever they do, where they're grabbing each other and punching them in the face and stuff like that. But right now I'm just going to show you how much force these can really absorb compared to the power fist. So I have my glove and then my power fist, and I'm just going to be knocking this anvil up real quick. Ooh. Yeah, in the power fist video, you could see me cringe, I'm pretty sure. Whenever I hit something hard that doesn't compress under the force of the power fist, this does not relieve shock. I called this a shock absorber. It is not a shock absorber. This thing actually vibrates violently, which causes a whole lot more shock to be transferred to my wrist than any actual shock absorbers. So again, yeah, it's not fun. It's not fun when you hit something solid. Fuck that. But if you take one of these, it's fine. Like, I feel like there would be pain, but there's no pain. There's a slight, tiny pain in these two knuckles. That's it. And if you punch that many times that hard with your normal fist, you'd be fucked. So these are good for the project I'm going to use them for. Better than the power fist. We're going to take these cheap-ass boxing gloves I found on Amazon, and then we're going to take some hinges and some shit that I found in the ditch, and we're going to make it into some boxing gloves of fucking death. Let's go. so I've traced these plates out onto this cultivator disc, and I'm going to use an angle grinder, cut them out, put them onto another disc, trace them out again, cut them out, and have 2 sets of each. I'm going to do that outside, and unfortunately I live in between hell and heaven. I live in that dark limbo of despair, and it's too cold for my phone to actually record out there. So I'll try and just put it somewhere so you can kind of get it from the inside of the shop, hopefully. So yeah, apologies for not getting up close and personal with the angle grinder. It's just it would kill my fucking phone, so oh well.
So these are welded up. 2 hinge plates. Basically going to sit on your hand here, like this. Now, I am a retard and a stupid, stinky butthole dummy. So basically, this plate is a bit longer and it was supposed to go for the lower fingers. This plate is more fit to your actual knuckles. I got them mixed up, but that's just how she goes, I guess, so I'm just going to leave it and pretend it never happened. Anyways, the actual shape of this boxing glove is rounded at the end, so I've just traced out a basic round shape, not perfectly fit to it, but just enough that the plate sort of matches enough aesthetically. So then I'm just going to take these 2, cut and grind those out maybe, and then I'm going to go and grind down all of this shit all over the hinges and everything.
Hinged plates. Yeah, they nice and wobbly. They work quite well. I don't think they're gonna break or anything because they're welded solidly on. Ground them down nice and flush too. Just a bit fucking ugly, but oh well. Anyways, it's gonna fit onto the glove like this. It doesn't perfectly match the curve of the glove, but that doesn't really matter because the glove will squish out into a flat shape anyways, according to the shape of your knuckles when you strike hard enough. So, whatever. It's also way easier to make it this way. And the next step we're going to do is we're going to add some spikes along this surface because a flat punching plate is not going to make much of an impact to anything. You have to sort of break up that surface area into smaller points. AKA, put some spikes on it and start stabbing into shit to be just as deadly as possible. So, put some spikes, maybe some ridges and stuff like that to just really get a lot more oomph into it, stuff like that. So anyways, let's get to that. Hello again. It's been about a week for me, but it's probably been about 2 seconds for you, so I'll cut the shit and get right back into it. Where I left off, I was going to try and put some spikes and shit onto these gauntlets. I only found 2 of these spikes, and these are from whatever that farming implement is called. I think it's like a tiller, I think. I don't know what it's called, but the one with the spikes all over it, I know what it does, I just don't know its name, because I'm not a big fucking epic farmer like I should be or whatever. So anyways, besides that, since I only have 2 and not 4, I'm just going to start off by cutting this up, and then I'm going to use this to fill in the gap between the 2 spikes on each gauntlet, just cut that to about the width of the hinge and then slap that on there with some weld. So, let's cut this up then.
Jumbo jet. It wasn't easy, but nothing is. No.
So I've yet to find another pair of spikes for the other gauntlet, and this one's close to being finished for the metal parts anyways. So I figured I'd just do the final touches for this one by taking some WD-40, spraying it, and then lighting it up, and spraying it and lighting it up until it gets a nice gray patina on it. So I'm just going to get into that right now. But yeah, it's all pretty straightforward. I just took the plates here, I glued on a piece of some foam just for extra padding, and then I took a little piece of a seat belt and I riveted that onto there. That's going to go on the inside of the glove and help when I attach it. But besides that, really, all I have to do now is take my two plates and attach them to the two gloves, and then we're in business, and time for an epic punching montage where I break things. Because Lord knows I love to smash things because I'm fucking insane. So let's get to that.
Watch me get this money, nigga. Tired of being hungry, nigga. Nothing funny, sass me while I'm thrashing. I'm a punching, nigga. Never made of plastic, I'm a savage. You look munch, my nigga. Passing all you hated fucking facts. We don't discuss, my nigga. We ain't on no jolly shit and we don't pop no mollies, bitch. I'm hocking, spitting. Got some niggas out here popping ollie switch. Bunch of novices. Our future, the squad is stick. Them young niggas is back and brash attacking with no common sense. We the last of a dying breed. And we don't give a fuck, so we cannot supply your needs. Them stupid niggas who act said our hype is dying, please. My pocket's solid, making profit off the highest tees. Bitch, merch twerk as I get on the verse cursing. Nigga, I'm so cool, I refer him in third person. Watch me get this money, I'm up when the birds chirping. Make actions, fuck rehearsing. Nigga, summer, fall, winter time, 24 through 65. You niggas gon' give me mine. I don't have plenty time. Flying out at any time, getting money, any grind. You niggas gon' give me mine. You niggas gon' give me mine. Summer, fall, winter time, 24 through 65. You niggas gon' give me mine, cause I don't have plenty time. Flying out anytime, getting money, any grind. You niggas gon' give me mine. You niggas gon' give me mine.
In a world where kids my age are popping mollies with leather, sitting on Tumblr, never outside or enjoying the weather. Can name a sweater but not a talent, or don't know if whether or not they got one. Try to change their life for the better. I was a drama club kid, I run with a fun dip. My nuts itched, I was defiant, always said fuck shit. Hated the popular ones, now I'm the popular one. Also hated homes too, till I start copping me some. See, I don't bees in the trap, nigga, I bees in the bees. And I be gassing in my buzz like some bees at a shell. Fucking sick and getting bigger like I sneezed on Adele. And bitches getting touchy-feely like they reading some braille. I bust quick like gun holders with short tempers and well. I try to tell the kids like fucking start being yourself. These fucking rappers got stylists cause they can't think for themselves. See, they don't have an identity, so they needed some help. But really, boy, poses looking silly, boy. I'm in that past season preem shit older than titty, boy. Not a disc, but same with ice cream. My shit is Dee Reeves, not Kill Smith. Trans World page 64. Popping like oil olives and fire flames. I'm harder than DJ Khaled playing the fucking quiet game. The fuck am I saying? Tyler's not even a violent name. I'm about as threatening as stain windbreakers and hurricanes, but...
Well, it looks like they did survive, but the strap to backplate connection needs some work, obviously. A little bit of issues there. That's not very good. This looks like it's fraying, so I might have to sew that down a bit better. Looks like the sewing job I did didn't really work at all, wasn't very tight, so I'll have to look at that again. This one's got the same issues, but not as bad, just in the back there. So it looks like we're going to need just a stronger method of attaching the back plates to that. I haven't had many issues punching anything. My knuckles feel fine, my wrists feel fine. They just kind of move a bit much because of the spikes placement. They tend to kind of shift the wrist around if you don't connect the punch right, because it's like this. So that's one thing. But overall, everything's working pretty well. Might just make a couple of changes and you'll see a full-length video of these things kicking ass in glory. So look forward to that. For now, I'm just going to clean up and then I'm going to go to bed and start working on these and making them perfect. So I'll get to that. And until then, see you later.